Hello everybody, I am the Thrifty Crocheter, and first we're going to start off with, the devotional, my 365 days of kindness. Today is August the 2nd. Help, please. How does God's love abide in anyone who has the world's goods and sees a brother or sister in need and yet refuses to help? 1 John 3:17. You only need to take a look around your home to know how blessed you are. Being able to have breakfast, pour yourself a cup of coffee, and get into some nice clothes for the day are simply a few of the many things you can do that others cannot. You don't need to feel guilty about the things that you have, but be grateful for them. Be thankful that even though your car isn't the most impressive vehicle on the road, you have something to take you from point A to point B. Be thankful that even though your bathroom is a bit dated, you still have hot water to wash yourself with. Every time you think of complaining, remember that there are people who have next to nothing. Think of how much God loves them and wants their needs to be cared for as well. Put that love into action. Act of kindness. Donate blankets to your local homeless shelter. Yes, local homeless shelter could definitely use blankets and clothes and shoes and toys. They could use any and all of the above all year long, because not only there are adults, but there are adults who have children with them too, so they could also use clothing and toiletries. Anything that you can donate, they will greatly love. And on my devotional note, I wanted to share some more of my journaling. Ooh, my great big bag here. It has one of my Bibles. This one is a She Reads Truth Christian Standard Version. And there are some bookmarks in it. And I do have, like here in the New Testament, here's on Matthew. Some more notes. I like to write notes and put them on little pieces of paper, like little sticky tabs, but I do sometimes write on the edges. There are different, I underline things. There's some more important things that I've written down. I've got them taped on so that I can always move the papers aside. And that's why I use sticky notes, so I can always move the paper aside so I can read the scripture. Here's, I have some more notes that I've written in. Sometimes I just write notes, write a whole paper of notes. This one took a couple pages, actually. And then I just folded them and stuck them in my Bible. There's so those are just some ideas. Oh, here's another piece of notebook paper. And I stuck in there. Sometimes I tape them in, sometimes I just stick them in there. But I usually do a lot of just sticky notes, and sometimes I write little notes on the margins. I've even got sticky note on a sticky note. and writing in the margins. But I don't really have... Now, some people like to go so far as to color code. I don't do all that. That's a little too much for me. I mostly like to use sticky notes. And most of these have been when I've been watching other ministers preach, and I've been taking my own notes. And I also have this book. It's called the Deluxe Thin and Out Bible Maps. That's kind of neat. Ooh, this one's also... Each of these books I got at Walmart. So, just so you know, you can get them there. The Chronological Guide to the Bible. It's actually pretty cool. One of the... I can't... And I know I'm going to find the map, and I'm not going to find it. Was kind of interesting was to note, who was alive, who was still alive and whom. Because you think about it, in the Bible, people lived hundreds of years. And when you think about it, some of those people that were in the Old Testament were still alive during the New Testament, which is just wild to me. And this one I've also, I know I've added, I gotta find the page, because I know oh, here we go, yep. I've also added some sticky notes to it. That's because it was just some interesting little factoids on the 12 tribes of Israel that I decided to add to the book. That's the only thing I added to this, but I just thought that was... And I have kinds of sticky notes and markers, and I use ink pens and markers and highlighters. And if I were to write in a notebook, then I use all of the above, plus sometimes even crayons and colored pencils. I've showed you in another notebook where I've used stickers and sticky letters and such. But those are just some ideas. Okay. Oof. Now, on the crochet side of things. Whew. I did all that moving around and now I'm a little warped. I was at work today, so that's the work shirt. One of the things I have made, I don't know how many of these I've made in my lifetime since I bought this book. Because even before I bought it, I got it at the library several times. I finally got it like several years ago. It was something called a possibilities bag. And it's just like a little kid-size purse that you can make for your daughter or a niece or a grandchild. Real simple. You just need 45 yards of 2 colors worsted weight yarn, 15 yards of worsted weight yarn for the flap. All 3 colors should be the same brand, but you can use any colors you want, any 3 colors you want, or if you want to make it all 1 color, or you just want to make it into 2 colors. But they make this with 3 colors. You need a size G 6, 4.25 millimeter hook. And they say a knitter's pin or marker, yardstick or measuring tape, scissors, yarn needle. Skills: make a chain, plain single crochet, change colors, sew seam. And then the size of it, your finished bag will be approximately 6 inches wide by 7 inches long. Counting rows. Plain crochet is a plain crochet. In plain crochet, every other row looks different. One row looks like little V's, and the next row looks like little V's that short horizontal strands across the top. Learn to identify rows to be able to count them. There also are shallow furrows in the plain single crochet fabric with a row of stitches that look like V's and a row of stitches that look like V's with horizontal strands between them. It is easy to count rows by twos between these furrows. Don't forget to count any extra rows at the beginning or end of your work. Well, it's nice that they explain to you how to count the rows, but for me, if I just get a row counter, and you got to make sure you click it, every time you get to the next row, you click it again. Because if you don't, that will mess you up every time. But this is really, really simple. And it uses nothing but single crochets. We have a 14-inch tail for sewing in the seam. Chain 24 with the first color. Row 1, skip 2 chains, single crochet in the third chain from the hook, and in each chain across. Then turn. Row 2, chain 1, single crochet across. This is the right side of the bag. Mark it with a pen or marker and turn. Like use a stitch marker. For rows 3 to 30, chain 1, single crochet, turn, change to the second color at the end of row 30. Rows 31 to 60, chain 1, single crochet across, turn, change to the third color at the end of row 60. Leave a 14-inch tail at the second color, sew in the side seam. Rows 61 to 70, chain 1, single crochet, turn, and fasten off. With the right side out, fold the bag so that the first color is the front, the second color is the back, and the third color is the flap. So like here's like the front. So like these would be, a color, the flap's another color, and then the back is a whole nother color. Overcast stitch, the sides closed. Then for the handle, this is for the handle, cut a 15-yard strand of yarn and double it. And make a slip knot in the doubled strand and put it on your hook. Make a single crochet. Into the top edge of one side seam. Chain until you have a handle 46 inches long and single crochet. One in the opposite seam. Fasten off and thread the ends in. And then for the closure, which is like right here, like a little button, if desired, sew a four stitch by 4 row button onto the front. Make a chain so that to go around. Put the 2 strands on the chain to the inside of the flap, tie them in a knot, and thread the ends in. So they're telling you how to make a little 4 or things squared. Or you can just buy a button and sew that on and then make the little loop that goes on over that button. There's the picture. And I'm sorry if you can't read it. And I always show a picture of the little girls. There we go. Well, this one's more of a little girl. This is like a, not really a teenager, but almost a teenager, probably like middle school, maybe at the oldest. But that's just an idea. Now I've shown, did I put it over here? What did I do with it? Bear with me. I'm trying to find something I know I've showed you that I've made before. And of course, it doesn't want to appear. Oh, there it is. And I've showed you how to make this before. And here's the other side. I made it reverse. This side is the white with the gray, and this side is the gray with the white. And it's 8 grannies, 4 in each one, and then I use single crochets to attach them, and then a single crocheted all the way around. And then if you want to, you can take one of the corners and add a loop to hang it up. You could always do that. Or something else that was also in this book. It's called Single Crochet for Beginners. Another idea it gives for a pot holder. Well, they call it a design kit. But you basically you make different swatches, and then you can, you put them together to make your pot holder. And it gives the directions on how to make each one. I'm not going to tell you how to do them, but you can make your own. Use your own stitches however you would like. I mean, these are all like with single crochets, and then they're basically just changing color. Whether it's one that's all one color, and then another one is 2 colors, and then another swatch is 3 colors. If you do so many rows. But if you want to use single crochets, double crochets, if you want to do some kind of fancy stitch. But I just think that's a really neat little idea. Ooh. Okay. Just a little tired from today's work, and been kind of a long week at work. So I'm going to read our other daily devotion. Daily devotion 365 spirit lifting devotions for grandmothers. I need some more light. Here we go. August 2nd. The light that shines through the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it. John 1, verse 5. The lure of the Blue Ridge Mountain breezes was just too tempting. So instead of heading for bed as midnight approached, I let myself out onto the long gray deck and sank into a plastic Adirondack chair. Slowly, my eyes adjusted and the stars above me became clearer and clearer. For our often hazy August, the sky was unusually dark and the stars unusually bright. I sighed in the pure pleasure. After years of living in dense Maryland woods, the open sky here in Virginia is a new joy for me. Like a child discovering the stars for the first time, I began to play with ideas. Gee, what if all that is really a great black velvet drape and the stars are pinholes where heaven shines through? Ooh, I like that. Suddenly, out of the corner of my eye, I became aware of a flickering. Somewhere beyond the black mound of Massanutten Mountain, sorry if I mispronounced that, was a thunderstorm. I watched the flashes and flickers silhouetting the ridge for quite a while, but heard no thunder. Strange. I watched the TV forecast at 11 o'clock, and there were no storms. Curious, I crossed the deck, entered my office, and called up the Virginia weather radar on my computer. There was only one storm anywhere in the 3-state area, a large red-orange blob covering Cape Charles, the point where Chesapeake Bay meets the sea at Hampton Roads, a 5-hour drive away from us. The night was so clear that the darkness could not hold back the lightning. It bridged the ridges and lit up my deck 170 miles away. As I called Bill to come see the silent display, I thought of how many times the Lord's light had bridged the dark valleys in my life to bring His peace and His presence. Watching lightning move out to the sea, beyond 2 mountain ranges, the long Piedmont and Tidewater, I knew I was seeking a parable in action. Darkness cannot extinguish light. Lord, bring your light over the ridges and into the valleys of my life. Roberta Rogers. Those are your two devotions for today. I hope you are enjoying these devotionals. I know I do. And I am going to end my video with my special little cross. I love my little cross. This small swatch of yarn has been woven with prayers. As you hold this swatch in your hand, may you feel God's strength, love, and peace flow, and know that He holds you in His hands. May God bless and comfort you in time of need and give you peace. And I don't just read that, I believe it. I really sincerely do. I hope that God grant you peace and joy and love. Because I tell you what, in this world, we really need all that. We really do. We need some peace and joy and love. And I don't mean to sound 70 hippish, but seriously, we really do need all that. This crazy world could really use a lot of that right now. But I wish all of you a very wonderful Friday. Happy Friday. We all made it to Friday. Yay, we made it to Friday. Woohoo! And I hope all of you have a very wonderful and wacky weekend. Whether if you're off this weekend, like if you're like me, you have to work every other weekend and it's your weekend off, you get to relax all weekend. Hopefully you have nothing, or if you have plans with your family, have fun. Hopefully, if the weather permits, you could take your family out to a park or some kind of outing, or if you have something going on in your area that's fun for the family, I hope you have time to go and do that. Spend time with your family and friends this weekend. If you are working this weekend, I know what that's like, to miss out on all the things that are going on that weekend. But be safe at your work. And just be safe in general, folks. And watch out for watch the traffic, and watch, because I tell you what, no matter how good you're a driver you are, doesn't mean the driver next to you is a good driver, or the driver in front of you or behind you is a good driver. So just be aware. Just stay aware. But I wish all of you a very wonderful weekend. Love y'all. Bye.